Marlbs here. Today, let's talk controllers. And what controllers are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the Victrix PRO BFG with the Hall Effect stick upgrade versus the Razer Wolverine V3, which already does have Hall Effect sticks. Only reason I'm saying that is because we're calling that out on the Victrix, because the standard Victrix PRO BFG does not come with the Hall Effect sticks, so you have to get their stick upgrade kit. Over this past several weeks, I've been contesting these two head-to-head in a variety of different games, in a variety of different scenarios, to really find out if one of these controllers could be David's new daily driver. Now, this isn't a scientific review. What this is my impressions based on the games that I've played and using these two controllers. And I want to call out a few things that I like, a few things that I didn't like, and a few things that you might want to consider if you want to buy one of these controllers. Now, first of all, they are a little bit expensive. I won't kid anybody about that. And there are folks who say, you know, I don't want to spend that kind of money. And certainly a standard Xbox controller in the $30, $40, $50 range is fine. This is not that, okay? They come with cases, they come with sticks, they come with interchangeability options. There is a very unique flavor about these controllers where they're targeted what they'd like to think as at professional gamers or those wanting to be professionals. Now, I'm never going to say that I didn't want to be a professional gamer. Everybody wants to be a professional gamer. But using the same equipment of the pros does give you an advantage. Now, I just want to recount my history a little bit, and that I did use the SCUF controllers for a long period of time during the Xbox One generation. And in the Xbox Series generation, I kind of wound up upgrading my SCUF with SCUF parts, and that's kind of been my daily driver. I like it overall, and it suits me well. However, these controllers have added some things that I didn't want to consider. Now, if you'll remember, one of my biggest problems with these controllers was the USB dongles. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Both of them use USB dongles. The latency on the Victrix is higher than the Wolverine. The Wolverine, I'm telling you, response time is better than any controller I've ever used. Now, I can only judge by the way that I play and the games that I play that, you know, how the controller responds in those situations. I found that the wireless with the Razer, the response time and latency significantly was better than any other controller I've used. Now, that being said, was the Victrix bad? No, I would consider it about average, but I will say that it did, you know, play well. So I didn't experience any, you know, connectivity issues, but clearly there is something different about the latency of the Razer. You can feel it, especially in fighting games. Now, next, the thing that I want to talk about a lot that it's kind of interesting is the paddle setup. Now, both of these controllers have a similar paddle setup. Now, I gotta say, honestly, both the Victrix and the Razer V3 do have good setups. The funny part is when you put it in your hand and you feel it, I just feel that the setup for the Razer when I have my fingers on the sticks is just a little bit better than the Victrix. Now, that's not to say that the Victrix is bad. It is okay, and it's definitely suitable. I also want to say that I do kind of like the Victrix D-pad. The Victrix D-pad, I gotta say, I do like. The Victrix stick tops, not so much. The way that their interchangeability works, I kind of like that a little bit better than what we have with the Razer. Now, on the buttons, you know, when you start comparing these tactile click buttons, you know, electro-mechanical buttons versus the standard type buttons that you're getting with the Pro BFG, you know, the biggest thing that I tell people about the Pro BFG all the time is I don't like the size of the buttons. I just wish the size of the buttons were a fraction bigger, but the problem is because of the interchangeability of the modules, I don't know that it can be done. Even if you wanted to do it, what would the cost of that be involved, and would it even be worth it? And I do think that the gain of making the buttons a fraction bigger could be great, but I just don't think it's realistic cost-wise, and probably not even possible to do. I will say I'm not crazy about the stick tops. I don't like the feel of them. I wish that they offered some other variety, but I will say that they do feel overall okay, just not as good as the Razer. The Razer stick tops are more what I'm familiar with. They're a little bit more sticky, and they're more like what a scuff stick top would be. The D-pad, I would say it is electromechanical too, but it is different, you know, and I've noticed that playing with that D-pad, it is a little bit different. Overall, I like the feel of the Razer Wolverine V3, and I think you will too. I just think it's a little bit better controller. The Hall effect sticks on the controllers, I would say that the Razer is probably just a little bit better. But I think that might be because of calibration and not so much the way that the sticks work. It just could be a choice in stick modules. But both of them are good, and I don't think you're going to experience drift with the Hall effects on the PDP or the Razer, but who knows. One other thing I'd like to call out is that, you know, the cases, they both have cases. The setup is very similar, but the costs are expensive. You know, and when you're talking about spending this kind of money, you know, you need to be sure that you're going to like what you get. I would say with the Razer Wolverine V3, it's a great controller if you like that kind of feel of a controller. If you don't and you want something that is a little bit more akin to what you're used to, the Victrix might be the better choice. Of course, you're going to have to upgrade to the Hall effect sticks if you want them. Now, I would encourage you to do that. Just remember to recalibrate your sticks. Overall, as packages and as controllers, I just think the Wolverine's just a little bit better for me. And right now, it's dethroned the scuffed Elite Series 2 as my daily driver. And I gotta say, I really like it a lot. I just wish the price was a little lower so that more people could experience the performance of this controller. My name is Marlbs. Subscribe for me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.